light a fire, and enjoy the day.
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your first alert. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
Well, it's been 9 days since anybody has heard from Jamila Smith. The 30-year-old Aiken mother was last heard calling 911 on December 2nd, saying that she was running from her ex. Then the 911 operator heard a male voice telling her to get into a car, a horn honking, then that call dropped. Tonight, Daniel Harmon is behind bars facing charges of domestic violence and kidnapping. Even though Jamila Smith has been missing for more than a week now, investigators are not giving up. Our Hallie Turner is live for us in our newsroom. And Hallie, walk us through what law enforcement are doing to help find Jamila Smith.
Well, on top of searching for any information you may know about where Jamila may be, they're looking for anyone who has any information about Pikachu, which is one of Daniel Harmon's aliases. Investigators say they're specifically looking for anyone who had contact with Daniel or Pikachu during the time frame of when the couple was reported missing on December 2nd to when Daniel was arrested on December 5th. They have not ruled out a community-wide search yet, but their focus right now is following every lead they've been getting from the community. They say it's not a crime to go missing until they run into something that makes them believe different, like this case.
Yeah, time is very important now. And one thing to remember about people going missing, it's not a crime to go missing until we run into something that's nefarious about them being missing. And when we do, then the investigation turns very quickly. So as this case progressed, we started picking up on those key elements that told us that there's something else that's going on with this case.
Now, Jamila's family is offering a $5,000 reward for any information that will lead to her return. And coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6, we have more on how you can play a key role in her return.
And we know that entire family right now is in Aiken, and hopefully they can get some answers soon. Thanks for following this story, Hallie.
Well, temperatures today have definitely cooled off from a relatively warm week. But with the help of DeMello Jones, Georgia commit, who has scored all 3 touchdowns for Swainsboro in the first half, the Tigers were able to get back in it after seemingly falling out of it a little bit early on. So this team has just been dreaming about getting the chance to come back to state because of how last year ended. They did not feel like they played their best brand of football in the state title game last year. And now they have an opportunity to get some revenge against a really good Prince Avenue Christian team, which has had zero problem moving the ball up and down the field to this point. They've been road warriors this year. Swainsboro has had to play all of their playoff games on the road, including this one at the Benz, and they are not fazed by being inside this building with all the fans in attendance and just the atmosphere of being at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Now, one of my favorite phrases in all of sports is it's all about the yak. It's all about yards after contact and yards after the catch. DeMello Jones took a pass all the way to the house, letting everyone know how fast he is and why he's going to Georgia next year. Now, one of the things that was very impressive for this Swainsboro team this year is that their defense and special teams have really been a part of it all year, and especially today. DeMello Jones had a 96-yard pick six to get Swainsboro back in it when they were down by 2.5 scores early on in the second quarter. And then right after that, they ended up blocking a punt, giving them field position right within the 2-yard line, which they ended up giving it right back to DeMello Jones, who found his way back into the end zone. So as you can tell from what I've been saying, this game is far from over. It has been a crazy start, and only time will tell what the second half has in store. But once again, right now, Swainsboro down by 3 at the half, 21-18. I'm going to have another update on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Reporting from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Dan Booth on your side.
And we know this game last year turned into a track meet with Swainsboro, but they eventually ran out of gas, and Prince Avenue was able to start throwing the ball and grinding Swainsboro down. So hopefully Swainsboro can turn that around and get to where they need to be to bring a state title back home. Thanks for reporting at the Benz there, Dan. Well, cheers and chants at Greenbrier High School today as the girls flag football team heads to state. This team is ranked number 2 in the state right now and are headed to Atlanta to play in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This team has worked hard to get here, and some players say it's still sinking in.
It doesn't feel real. Like, I'm still trying to process the fact that we're even going to the Benz. I've never been to the Benz, and I don't think it's something that, like, you can't believe it until you see it.
and they'll be facing off against number 9 Lithia Springs in the final. This is the first time the CSRA has sent a team to the state game. In what will come of a historic school in Augusta's Sand Hills community, the Weed School is nearly 100 years old and considered a deteriorating structure by historic Augusta. It sat vacant for more than a decade and has been the source of concern for neighbors nearby who say parties and other activities happen at the abandoned building. Now we're learning how the school could be transformed into more housing and retail space. All new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Our Craig Allison is breaking down potential plans that has the school there now that the school has been bought there. Well, what was old is once again new. Bamberg County is celebrating the grand opening. Don't forget, if you want to sponsor a local child and help them celebrate Christmas, today is your last chance. The Salvation Army has angel trees with children who need clothes and toys for the holiday. You can become an angel by visiting the Kroc Center, the Augusta Mall, the Panera at the Augusta Exchange, or the Peach Orchard Family Store. And the holidays are supposed to be a joyous time, but 38% of people say they're more stressed around this time of year. Our State House reporter Abby Casoris breaks down a new resource designed to help people right here in Georgia.
Jamari Gilbert says with finals, holidays, and car troubles, he's stressed out.
Men don't really have a lot of leeway when it comes to talking about their problems.
According to the American Psychological Association, 6 million men report feeling depressed each year, and most won't seek treatment. 40% of men say they never discuss mental health with a medical professional.
Ask for help, to share with people that they're having a hard time, and to seek out care where you can find it.
Art Pharmacy CEO Chris Appleton brought the European social prescription approach to Georgia. Art Pharmacy connects you with a trained professional, a care navigator, addressing mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, social isolation, and loneliness. Your prescriber here isn't focused on drugs. Instead, arts and culture credits are your medicine.
Art Pharmacy really works on the biopsychosocial approach to addressing mental health disorders. And as you think in the United States, most mental health disorders are biopsychosocial diseases, right? Physiologically, what's going on, psychologically, what's going on, and then socially, what's going on. And in the U.S. healthcare system is not very well equipped to address that social leg of the story.
Prescribers connect users with experiences like a trip to the museum, the library, or an art class. Gilbert says he's open to see how social prescription could work for him.
I'm a movie guy. I go into movies or read books. I do whatever I can to just get the stress off my mind. But
in downtown Decatur, I'm Abby Casoris.
More than 80 years later, one woman's story is now finding social media fame. Just ahead, how it all has to do with her diaries. Riley?
Well, after a fairly wet Sunday yesterday, we are going to dry things out over the next couple of days. We'll have a look at that full forecast for you just after the break.
Time and temp. Brought to you by Jamie.
5 to 7 days. Here's a quick look at that 7-day for you. Not much rain in it, at least not for the next several days. Once we get into our Sunday, that's when our next system does show up. And depending on the timing of it, that could linger some rain chances into our Monday morning. Right now, those chances do look pretty low, though, as we head into early next week.
Thanks, Riley. In South Carolina's Low Country, a duo is gaining internet popularity for sharing the life of a woman with a decades-long story to tell. Caitlin Ashball shows us how it all has to do with some decade-old diaries.
Mark McKinney and Liz Duran sit at this desk every week. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, so we got a great email today. Okay. Peeling back the layers of life in these century-old diaries.
There are 5 years worth of diary entries in this one book. 1931, 1932, 33, 34, 35. So this would be an entry just right there.
Inside those pages, a decade-long story of McKinney's late grandmother, Elizabeth, boxed away for years untouched until now.
When Mark first showed me his grandmother's diaries, they were from 1931 to 1942, and no one had ever read them.
My grandmother's diaries has garnered the world's attention through TikTok, podcasts, and YouTube.
Storytelling and expressing yourself was a really important part of their whole family. I'm going to have to work hard and might have to sleep in a tent. I sure hope Daddy gets a real good job very soon.
Each leather-bound page containing a true American story. A teenager's life from the Great Depression to World War II.
It was a lot of people's stories. She just wrote it down.
Mark Twain said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And And that's what we're seeing in these diaries. 100 years ago, everyone's worried about the same thing.
A year in, the story does not end here. Both McKinney and Duran say they're dedicated to sharing every last word with the community.
Lots of tears here.
It is, because it's so special how clearly she lays out her story. And when it's over, I'll have lost a friend.
And you can learn more about Elizabeth and see some of her diary entries at mygrandmasdiaries.com.
You may have a lot of money sitting on your dresser, but it may be more money than you actually think. I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up with a smartphone app to tell you what your change is worth.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. When you hurt in a
The US dollar isn't worth what it used to be, but some coins are worth thousands of dollars to collectors. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker shows us an app that uses AI to show you if you've got a small fortune just laying around.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
Like a lot of people, I have something on my dresser where I can just toss in any loose change that I find. Now, I could take this to the bank, convert it to cash, or to one of those coin exchange machines. But this app called CoinSnap Value Guide can tell you if that dime is worth more than 10 cents. CoinSnap was released last fall. It shows the collector values of pennies, dimes, quarters, and other coins. But instead of just a list, CoinSnap uses the phone's camera to see what you got. Snap a photo of the coin's front and back. The app determines the date, where the coin was minted, which can be pretty important to a collector. And in a snap, you'll see all that information, plus whether the coin is worth more than you thought. Common coins are at face value, of course, but you might run across something more valuable, like this 1986 penny I toss into the basket. CoinSnap says collectors value it up to $3.90. And this variety of a 1955 penny is worth $2,000. It's an easy app to use, and you can scan or snap hundreds of coins in minutes and add them to your collection. Now, one thing I wish this app would do is put a total value on your collection. Maybe that'll come in an update. This app is only a few months old. The app is free. There is a $30 annual subscription, or if you find a Buffalo nickel, that subscription is just 5 cents. I'm Jamie Tucker, and CoinSnap Value Guide is the app of the day.
The CoinSnap app is for iPhone and Android devices. Collectors say if you do run across a rare and expensive coin, it's best not to clean it or polish it, as collectors generally put higher values on coins in their current condition. Well, are you ready for it? The University of South Carolina is offering a class on Taylor Swift's Eras this upcoming spring. The course is titled Life is Just a Classroom, Taylor's Version, and will look into the singer's life and features her impact on tourism and the economy. It also is a way for students to learn about industry standards, brand management, and merchandising. Professor Kate Blanton, who will be teaching that course, hopes that students can learn from Swift's career and apply it to their own events in Columbia. So pretty cool. No better person to learn it from than Taylor Swift. She's doing it right, Riley.
I know you're an alum, Will. Is that a class you would have taken in the spring?
Honestly, if I could learn something, I would do it.
I mean, she does drive a lot of the economy,
I know.
and
It's
definitely
probably
gives a
smart
big
to
boost.
probably smart to do it.
You might probably pick up a thing or two in that class.
Learn how to sing.
There you go. And we're looking at pretty chilly temperatures over the next couple of days. Highs definitely below average for the rest of the week. Having a look at the 7-day-4 you just have to break.
Take a look in your crawl.
Well, take a look at this. A 67-year-old Habsburg weightlifter just broke 2 world records. You may recognize T. Skitty Man Myers from earlier this year when our own Will Volk trained with Myers for a story. Now, the weightlifter just set 2 records while in a meet in Atlanta. In a Facebook post, Myers says he lifted 551 pounds, then 606. Oh, yeah, give us a little dance there. And then 633 pounds, doing all that at 67 and weighing 194 pounds.
Wow.
Just incredible work there. Wow.
That goes to show you stay in the gym, you get results, and he is a heck of a trainer too. If y'all haven't seen our story with Mr. Will Volk, definitely check that out. There's a follow-up story to where he trained Will, and Will actually won a weightlifting competition. So pretty cool stuff. Hey, we got temperatures cooling off right now. Currently close to 50. We'll be in the 40s over the next couple of hours, and then late tonight and early tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold out at the bus stop. Should be waking up in the 20s across most locations around sunrise. So definitely bundle up for any early morning plans. And even afternoon highs not really warming up too much, staying below average in the 50s most days this week, and then not much rain until we get to Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.